Waste is the invisible gold and mined by the invisible pickers. We have to support these existing pickers and give them a better working conditions. If we support them properly, this can turn into permanent jobs for them. So waste, yes, the invisible gold is a ways and means of feeding yourself and your family, but we can do better. We can improve everybody's conditions if we start formalizing setups like this.
It starts mainly with collection. So collection at the source. The material gets collected either from a household or from the streets and then gets moved to a collection kiosk. From the kiosk, it gets accumulated and then gets transported to a hub. The hub is more of a processing center whereby you actually take materials, it gets sorted into different categories. So for instance, plastic bottles, aluminum cans, paper, and even the plastics then get sorted into different categories, either caps, labels removed. And then in those hubs, you actually do some additional processing where you take the material, you compress them, and you actually make them into large bales, which are easier to transport and also help save costs in terms of in logistics. That material gets transported then to a processing center, or you can say a recycling plant, where it gets crushed and processed into a final pellet. That pellet is something that can be used into a finished product like a bottle.
We are actually affected by a fluctuation because sometimes we make our budget based on what we think the prices are. And at the end of the day, you find that sometimes when prices drop, in actual fact, you find that even our budget becomes affected. And in actual fact, we end up in a situation where we have not enough to actually do other things that we require.
Because the market is not is not providing them with value, it's not easy for them to scale up. It's not easy for them to access capital that would allow them to, invest in technology, invest in, vehicles and things like that.
For this reason, it's important for us as a buyback to move up in the value chain, start extracting and extruding and even palletizing. Everything is started for the picker, around the picker. We want to secure that the picker gets the best price possible.
My vision in the co-op is to manufacture, to produce a product. I'll be able to run the factory.
By us moving up in the value chain, the picker will also be moving up.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel. What we need to do is provide the solutions in various markets. And that's what the Fair Plastic Alliance is doing, is that we're exposing these solutions, we're empowering people in various communities, various markets.
Ntirho lowuwani na wu rhandza swinene na ku hi leswo wa ni tsakisa ni proud hi wona a ni ti yisi hansi ni ti yisa henhla swinene hi wona hi ku wa ni pfuna hi wo wu endlaka ku tisa kudya le mutini na vana na va hlayisa hi yona mali leyi se ni wu rhandza swinene.
So my vision for the Fair Plastic Alliance is to really create a very powerful entity that can actually help unlock value from this waste that we collect. The Fair Plastic Alliance presents a very ideal opportunity for collectors all over the world to be able to get more value. And the reason they get more value is they're actually selling directly to someone that has their best interest at heart. No other organization would offer that much value to people, like for the collection industry. So I think that's why it's so unique and it's so powerful, because that creates an opportunity for them to have a piece of the pie, essentially. You have a piece of the pie in collection, you have a piece of pie in processing, and that gives them more incentive to really face the work of collection. The more you have a stake in the game, the more you're able to work hard to make sure it's successful.
We are actually hoping that we will have reached a stage where we are not only collectors, but in actual fact, people that will granulate, extrude, and produce pellets and sell, raw material directly to the manufacturer, rather than actually selling it as is right now.
We came with this concept of a people's economy that is about people being real players and actors in the economy. And we are applying this concept to our work in transforming the plastic value chain, where predominantly people are positioned as collectors and they have no voice and no bargaining power.
I think we need a more enlightened approach from the private sector, where they can see themselves as partners coming to a relationship with local communities, with cooperatives, in a mutual relation that can actually be a win-win situation.
With the new initiatives that we have started now, the invisible gold becomes visible, as you can see the gold now.